Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way show. It's a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's Wednesday, and we have a very special Wednesday. We do. It is a Wednesdays with Kathy Hochul, my awesome and amazing governor / empress, Queen Kathy herself, first of her name, destroyer of the middle class, supporter of the elite, banisher of the poor and conservatives. She is the one who yet again has made more speeches about the wonderful and amazing CHIPS Act. Some of you may not know what that is, but that is now. They're going to start making semiconductors, right? Is that what it is? Semiconductors, chips here in New York State. We should all be happy that this is happening. However, there is an issue. The issue is it's always government money. That is the issue. The issue is we have to reshore, as you will hear, bring jobs back to America. Love the idea. I love the idea of building in America. Love the concept. But are we doing it because it's good to build here? Or we're doing it because we're being bribed to be here? Yes, the people are getting bribed, as always, because the only reason why you would start a business in New York State is because you're either crazy or getting government money and being bribed to do so. That's how it works. And it used to be that would be a bad thing. That sadly now is the norm. The norm now is bribing. That is the way. I've been saying this, by the way, literally for decades. I've been saying how bad this is and how the bribery is absolutely terrible. But people keep ignoring me. But just so you're clear, I want you to see how this actually works. Let me see if I can get this to go the way I want it to go here, so I can show you how this actually works. Watch, this is a clip from CNBC, and this clip is about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months old, so it's an older clip, but it explains it very well, and it's short. You'll get it right away.
The Biden administration broadening the companies that are eligible for funding under the CHIPS Act. That's the focus of today's Tech Check segment with Christina Partsinevelos. And Christina, we were just hearing from the Norfolk Southern CEO.
See that?
That's bullish for the economy and factory production in this country.
Well, they're happy that now this billions of dollars is going to be open to more people. Not that America is going to be a great place to build things, but the American government is going to write some big checks.
Of course it would be bullish, because when you have companies building on American soil and getting money from the government, it's going to be a boom to the economy. But it's been pretty much almost 11 months now since the CHIPS Act became law. Large semiconductor supply chain projects with spending plans that exceed about $300 million.
Wait a minute. So hold on. At this point, it had been, she said, about 11 months. This is about 7 months ago. So this is give or take a year and a half. This has been law for a year and a half. But I thought that we were all making tons of money. What happened? Why wouldn't they just start writing checks then, right? Why?
$1 million can finally apply for funding. Okay. And this time around, chemical makers, tool suppliers are also included in the mix.
Everybody can.
The CHIPS Act, just as a review, includes about $39 billion dedicated to manufacturing, $11 billion for R&D, but
$50 billion. $50 billion. So I would like you to do work in America. We could change the business environment to be more friendly to smaller companies and not just giant corporations. We could do that, or we can bribe you with $50 billion. We're going to go bribe.
None of that money. That's the big problem. None of that money has actually been dispersed just yet.
Why not?
There is, according to the Commerce Department, a staff of 115 that have already reviewed.
Oh, a staff of 115 people. Didn't I tell you always? I tell you this constantly. This is always a way to give jobs to friends. So what happened? We got this great bill. Well, someone's got to figure out how to give out the money. So now you have to hire 115 bureaucrats to figure out how to give out the money. I wish I was joking. That's literally what she just said. They hired 115 people. So their salaries got to come out of this 50 billion, or it's just more government money. They hired 115 people for at least a couple of years. Why? I'm not being fast when I'm going to figure this out. I want to keep milking this for as long as I can. So I'm going to have a job for 2, 3, 4 years, whatever that is, making 6 figures so I can decide who gets the money. There'll be no corruption in that, right? There'll be no corruption whatsoever. That'll be above board.
Reviewed nearly 400 statements of interest from companies seeking to build semiconductor.
So 115 people for 400. That's only about 3.5 each. 3.5 each.
Projects across 37 states. And what do they want to do? Reshoring is a huge priority, and there are already many promises to build here in America.
Look at all of that cash. This is literally said, Micron said, yeah, I'll come to New York, give me $20 billion. What? Yes, it's right there. I'm not making this up. I tell you these things constantly. Every other week I'm telling you about this. Right here. I'll go to New York. Yeah. $20 billion. Otherwise, no. Why would I? I'm not going. I can't come to your terrible place unless I get $20 billion. Then I'll show up.
And you're seeing on your screen, Samsung building $17 billion worth in Texas, $43 billion from TSMC in Arizona, $40 billion from Intel. You can see on your screen that list is quite long, but much of those promises are contingent on government funding from the CHIPS Act.
Look at that. So they're promising you all this stuff if you give us the money. Well, you know what? You give me $1 billion, I'll build one too. No problem. In fact, I'll go to any state. I don't care which state. You pick the state. You tell me. Alaska, done. I don't care. Wyoming, done. Give me $1 billion. I will move to any state you like and start a business. This is not hard to do, but I guess I have to know the right people so that I can make this happen.
Companies like Intel, for example, saying it's critical for construction. On a media call yesterday afternoon, the Commerce Department.
Think about this. This is the part I want you to really think in your head about if you could. These are chips, microchips, right? Superconductors, is that what it is? Semiconductors, right? That's what they are. We need them in everything. Like everything we do, we need them. So there is clearly a market for them. You can sell these things, that makings and that people don't want. So you're making a product that people want. And the only way, their words, not mine, their words, not mine, the only way for them to be successful in New York is the government bribes them. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. They are making a product that all companies want, that all people want. They are being purchased throughout the world, right? Cars, phones, computers, everything. And they cannot be successful in New York State unless they get government money. That is how broken our business environment is. Their words, critical to success. No commercially viable means will depend on, will be made possible by. You don't give us money, we can't function here with a product that everybody wants. I wonder why America's having financial problems. We are not commercially viable in the world.
Department acknowledged there is, quote, limited funding, and they are, quote, going to have to make hard choices. But the pressure is on, Sarah, as the countries around the world are offering their own reshoring incentives as well. Just last week, or this week, I should say, Applied Materials and Micron announced large investments in India. Intel said that they're going to build a $33 billion plant in Germany, and building a fab could take at least 4 years.
Yeah, but that's something you guys may not know. The same company just built a multi-billion-dollar facility in Singapore. Do you know what Singapore, how much money Singapore gave them? At home, let me get the numbers. All the money, subtract, carry to one. Nothing. Nothing. Not a dime. Zero. Singapore gave them zero, and they went to Singapore. What did Singapore offer them that they would show up? I'm not joking. Singapore gave them $0. They just said, we have a very positive business environment. Don't get me wrong, Singapore in many ways is a police state. New York's a police state. So we get the worst parts of the police state, but not the good parts. If you're gonna be a police state, at least give us the good parts of it. We get nothing but the bad parts. We're a police state too. So we're a police state, they're a police state, but they get businesses. At least give us the good parts. We just get bad. We get high crime. We're a police state, and we get high crime and no jobs. They're a police state. They get no crime and lots of jobs. New York State's doing the police state wrong. Like, it's the wrong way of doing a police state. But you see it again and again.
5 years. So clearly the clock is ticking to make chips in America again. To boom, to bring it full circle, but it needs to happen soon.
Yes. And that is the piece
The
that I
Biden
wanted you all to see. That's what I wanted you to see, right? That now kind of explains how that works and what was happening there, just so you were aware of that. Now, that was 7 months ago. 7 months ago. But now it's here, right? So now it is here, and the CHIPS Act is working, and New York State's getting the money. I like this. You're going to like it too, because I know you're going to like it. Click the like button, damn you. Click the like button now if you haven't clicked it. Why haven't you clicked it? I'm not seeing the like clicks pop up. That means you guys hate me. Stop hating me. Click the like button. It does matter. If you are watching on Twitter, please retweet this. Retweet it right now. Or X, re-X it, repost it, whatever is the thing. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always super chat me if you like. That always helps out. I appreciate it. You can become a member if you want to on YouTube if you like to. $49 a month. Click that join button. Cool. You don't want to do that? No worries. You can still subscribe. Also works. All of those are good. But no matter what, click that like button. It does matter. All right. Let me show you the other piece I wanted to show you here. And this was a love fest. This is a love fest. Literally here in New York. And this was yesterday. They did an entire New York is on the move now. New York is doing great now. All the good stuff, because now Global Foundries has come to save the day. Global Foundries has come to save the day. And I know you guys are like, New York is ruined. No, it isn't. It is not ruined. How do I know that? Because Her Majesty Queen Hoko has told me so. She has been very clear. And so now comes the new guys who know all the things. Watch.
Good afternoon.
She's here to save us.
Seriously? This is one of the biggest announcements our state has ever seen in its history.
This is one of the biggest announcements our state has ever seen. And look at what the front says. President Joe Biden investing in America. See that? This is all about President Joe Biden. And you guys always thought I was joking when I said this. I know many of you tease me about it. I hear it. I always say the same thing. How is New York viable? How can New York survive? What do I always say? The same thing. The plan for growth is Uncle Joe was going to write us checks. That is the plan. Literally the plan for growth is not new policies, not new ideas. Uncle Joe will write us a check. That's the plan. And there it is right there. You see it right there. President Joe Biden investing in America. It's all because he's writing us checks. That is how we now make things move in New York State, and sadly in most of the country. Most of the country, things are moving forward. They're moving forward because of government investing. That's the reason.
How about a little more excitement for this great day?
Yeah, this is a great day. They're giving us money, writing checks for us, I think.
You know, last December, I stood at Albany Nanotech, where I know our leader of the National Economic Council is going right after we leave here. But I stood there alongside Majority Leader Schumer and Senator Gillibrand, and I said, as clear as I could,
what'd you say? New
York State is setting the path for the future of the rest of the nation.
Did you hear her say that? It's as if her people watch my show. I think they do, because I say this all the time. You people who don't live in New York, I know you watch and you go, why do I care about you and your New York stuff, Larry? I don't care. She just said it, because what happens to us is coming to you. She's saying it out loud. You don't like New York? You about to be New York. It's coming to you right now. She said it right there. We set the standard. We don't let anything move forward unless government controls it. We don't let anything move forward unless government invests in it. We don't let anything move forward unless we decide who gets the right job. That's them right there. She said it out loud right there. This is why you should care, why I keep fighting. This is the battleground. This is the front.
And that was not an overstatement at all.
No.
Especially in light of what we're doing here today.
Yes,
and
you're right.
today's historic investment.
God, I agree with her. She's right. Except she's acting like we're helping. I'm like, no. You are literally destroying the country. You are doing it. Yes, true, you are.
From the Biden-Harris administration and the incredible work of Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Look at that. Without the Biden-Harris administration, how could any of us have a job? Impossible. She just said it. No way. Without that. Now you might say, Larry, why is she kissing Biden's butt so much? Because he's writing her checks. That's the reason. Look, let's be honest. If Joe Biden wrote you a check for $1.5 billion, you'd like Joe Biden too. Even you, Mike Voss. If he wrote you a check for $1 billion, you'd be like, that's my man. That's as sad as you would. So all of you would do it if he was writing you big checks. So he's absolutely writing the checks. That's what's happening. 100%. Thank you for a super chat, Sam199. He says, did Biden's check fund Trump's prosecution? Actually, it did. And I know you may think I'm joking. I'm not. How did we get over our budget, our actual budget deficit? It was checks of over $40 billion that came from the federal government. Well, part of those checks fund the government. What did the government do? It prosecuted Trump. So, Sam, yes to your question. Part of Uncle Joe's check did absolutely deal with that. John goes on to say, Kathy's Biden's sugar baby. 100% accurate. Yes, 100%. That's the harsh part. Of course, they would all, you'd love him too if he gave you $1 billion. I would, if Biden wants my vote, he can have it. It's $1 billion. Write me a check for $1 billion. I'll endorse him. I'll vote for him. $1 billion. Yes, I would sell out. I would sell all you guys out for $1 billion. I would. $1 billion. I'm a Biden fan. Done. I hope you're listening. I hope the check's in the mail.
Getting this over the finish line in a Senate that's sometimes hard to get things done. Congratulations, because this is a very big deal.
It's a huge deal. It will change literally nothing. I want to be clear. It will change literally nothing. Here is what I guarantee you. And I've been right on all of these things so far, and I'm public and I do it live. So if I'm wrong, you see I'm wrong. This will literally change nothing. 1 year from now, New Yorkers will still be leaving. We will still be struggling. New York City will still be struggling. Nothing will change. 2 years from now, nothing will change. You will see no difference. The same decline, the same decay. Why? The system hasn't changed. That's the reason.
Majority Leader Schumer, I want you to know your jokes will never be stale here in the state of New York. Okay. So don't you go worrying about that. Don't you go around. But also to have Secretary Mondo here for this special announcement. Talk about extraordinary leadership in a.
This is the part that you hear every time, which always drives me crazy. And I always bring it up, which is they always spend lots of time telling everybody in the room how awesome all the government officials are, how their leadership is so good, how they're so good at that. But I want you to ask this very important question. It's a serious question. What are they actually leading on? What's the new policy? What's the new thing they've done? Nothing. All they've done is thrown more money at it. So their fighting was, can I get the money over somebody else getting the money? And again, I'm not joking it. This is what they're doing. There's X amount of dollars that we can steal from the federal government, so the federal government can now go into more debt for us as X dollars. How can I get the maximum amount of those dollars into my state? That is what they're jockeying for. There's no policy change. There's no law changes. It's just who can steal the most money from the federal government. Why do they care so much? Because they're going to give out all these jobs. You hear me say all the time, she wants those dollars. Now she's going to give out $1 billion worth of jobs. She's going to tell those people who she's giving jobs to, don't forget who gave you this job. Literally, she'll say those words to them. Don't forget who gave you those jobs. Yes, I know, Your Majesty, Queen, you gave me the job. You're right. The contractors go, here's your cut. And what I mean by cut, here is your max donation to your campaign that I can possibly give, plus some dark money to one of your PACs. Here's the money I'm giving because you gave me maybe out of all the contracts, a $300 million contract. I'll kick back 500,000 back to you somehow, and I'll keep 200 million, 500,000 to my people and all my stuff that I'll give out. And then I'll tell my people, literally, remember who gave you this job? It was Hochul. Remember her on election day. And yes, they talk just like that. That stereotype talk I just said is how they actually talk. They literally go, remember how she gave you your job? Remember her on election day, damn it. That's how they talk. These are union bosses and other bosses and the contractor bosses, all those people. They say that, and that's how they keep voting for her. Because you're asking yourself, why would anyone vote for her? She's paying you. They vote for her. I get it.
Job where she has her eye around the globe, attracting businesses, making investments,
attracting businesses, making investments. Now that's a lie. Well, that's maybe it's not a lie. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That's an exaggeration. Because what she's doing is bribing businesses. Is that attracting? I guess that kind of is. Who has the biggest bribe? Okay, yes. So you know what? I was wrong. I take that back. She is telling you the truth. It's just how you look at it. She's around the whole world bribing businesses to come. Yes. You think India gave them much money to come? No. You think Singapore did? No. They didn't.
Care of 50 states. I'm starting to feel a little extra attention here in New York. Okay. And I appreciate that. Maybe because it's, two female governors who kind of understand the world we're in.
See, had the virtue signal. What you will find every single time is three things in every speech that Kathy Hochul, Queen Hochul, Her Majesty, first of her name, destroyer of the middle class. She always will do three things. Number one, she will always virtue signal and almost always on gender. Always. Every speech she does, as your woman, blah, 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 always she will virtue signal every time. Number two, she will always say how proud she is and how hard she works. Those three things she will do every single time. She's done it already. I'm so proud of this. We've been working hard. Yep. And I'm a woman, you're a woman. This is every time and people eat it up. The virtues. And again, she has no actual skill set. She just has this.
But I know she gives a lot of extra love here to the state of New York. And today is proof of that. I want to thank you for making sure that you listen to Senator Schumer, you listen to Paul Tonko, but also to our president to execute his priorities, as you said so profoundly, bring back the jobs in manufacturing that we never should have lost.
Yeah, you're right. All those jobs that we shouldn't have lost. And during that time we lost those jobs, who was in government then? Who was in government? Oh, right, you. You were in government the entire time. You were either a congressperson, a state servant in some way, right, locally, or lieutenant governor or governor. All those times we were losing jobs, you were literally in charge. Weird how when you were in charge, we lost all those jobs. If only someone was in charge. Oh, wait, it was you. Yes, you.
And I know a lot about this.
You do. True. You know a lot. I mean, this part's true. She does know a lot because she was literally there hacking them to pieces and watching them die. That's true.
I was born in Lackawanna, New York.
Yep.
Grandpa, dad, uncles all worked at the steel plant. All of a sudden, one day, 1982, 20,000 jobs were up and gone.
Yeah.
You know what that does to the psyche of an entire community, upstate New York? And then we lost.
You just figured that out 40 years ago? That happened 40 years ago. She has been in public service over 20, I think 30 years now. She's been in public service in New York State, like 30 years. And you figured that out yesterday. You're like, damn. I know I've been in public service for 30 years, but I just figured out losing jobs sucks. That's what she's saying. She's finally talking about what I've been talking about. And for those of you who remember, I was talking about this in 2018. The biggest issue was people leaving New York State. Now she's like, oh yeah, people are leaving. Where you been?
Eastman Kodak jobs, you lost carrier jobs. We were just taking it on the chin for decades. So those of you who are old enough to remember this, you probably have a lot of gray hair. But those younger people who don't know this, know that with announcements like today, that will never happen in your lifetime or your children's lifetime because we have turned the corner. We are.
Okay, Remington just left New York State. The gun manufacturer left New York State. That will never happen again, except for right now. But except for, and probably tomorrow, except for that, That will never happen again. No. Yelp is leaving New York State. Yelp is leaving New York State. She is literally lying right now. Last time she wasn't really lying, bribing, attracting, right? Andrea says it right, right? Bribe, attract. Hey, it wasn't different. Okay, I buy that one, Andrea, but this one is just a lie. Literally, these companies, Twitter is leaving New York. They're packing up and going away, like now. So this is a blatant lie. Companies are still leaving New York State. You're bribing one to get in. So here's the problem. Where was the money of all this money? You saw about $50 billion money coming in, $1.5 billion coming down here, $11 billion here coming up all over the place. Where was that money for the local business that are already here? Where was their tax break? Or where was their cash payment? Or where was their whatever? Nowhere. Do you know why? And I want to be very clear. Do you know why? If she took that same $1 billion or whatever the amount of money is and gave it to a local business in some way, in some kind of handout to the local businesses, I'm not saying she should, but if you got the money and you give it out, I get it. You support local business who've been there already. Just say, yep, here's all the money. Where's all the new jobs that you created? Meaning you gave these contractor jobs to these contractors who will now support you. Doesn't happen. This is done on purpose this way so she can stay in control. I said the same thing. I don't like handouts, but if you're going to do a handout, hand it out to the people who are there, right? If I'm in New York, you're going to hand them out to them there.
Seizing the future right here in the state of New York. So the leadership we have here, also, I want to thank the labor force that's here, but also the men and women of labor who'll be building this. I want to thank the building trades for that.
I want to thank the building trades, to which I actually don't support. And what I mean by that is I don't support people, I don't help kids going into the trades. I don't do that. So the average tradesman in New York State is in his 50s. Yes, the average is in the 50s. Now, I love my tradesmen who are over 50. Please, enjoy. I'm over 50. It's fine. I'm not mad at that. That should not be the average. The average age should be in his 30s. The guy in his 50s now in New York State, he's still got a hammer in his hand. Again, no shade to him. He has to. But he shouldn't have to have a hammer in his hand. The 20 or 30-something-year-old should have a hammer in his hand, and the 50-year-old should be teaching him where to use the hammer and how to use the hammer. That's how it's supposed to work. It doesn't. It doesn't. What works is the 50-year-old's working because there aren't enough 20 and 30-year-olds to do the jobs. So what else do they do? Oh, I'm going to make Mike mad now. They got to bring in foreign labor. Yeah, because our youth, thanks to her and those before her, have been told the trades are dumb. Don't do that. That's for the bad kids. That's for the dumb kids. Don't do that. You have to go to college and go into debt and be a barista at freaking Starbucks. Meanwhile, the one kid who was the dumb kid who went and became a plumber or a tradesman is now making 6 figures a year with no debt. But you're making $20,000 a year as a barista with 50 grand in debt. Yeah. The woman who supports none of them. And now we wonder why does New York State want all those migrants? You know, a lot of you are mad. Oh, all the migrants coming in. They want them. Why? Who's going to build this stuff? Who's going to build it? There's nobody can build it here. We told our kids, go get a stupid degree in some stupid college to do stupid stuff. No. It's crazy. So she didn't support him. Dave says the average age of a tradesman should be in the mid-30s to mid-40s. Correct. Yes, thank you, Dave. Again, no shade to my 50-year-old tradesman. None. No shade. But should not be the average. Right? That should not be the average. Right? The average should be mid-30s, mid-40s. That should be the average. And it's not. That's the problem. Thank you for that. Bulbo Special K, thank you for $2. Appreciate the super chat there. I do appreciate that. So yes, let me keep going if I could.
Them being out there during the cold days and during the pandemic and the hot days and doing their work. We have Mike Lyons here, the president of the Capital Region Building Trades. I want to give him a special shout out because it is your men and women who will be out there building this fabulous fab factory. And I want to thank you in advance. Also, we have my team, president of Empire State Development, Hope Knight,
Useless.
whose vision for bringing back the state is extraordinary, and Kevin Eunice, who makes the most amazing deals here, including this one and Micron. Let's give them a round of applause as well.
Total and complete useless. The Empire State Development Corporation in New York State is literally a petri dish of corruption. We should be embarrassed by it.
You talk about the history of Global Foundries. It started with a $1.4 billion investment a long time ago, when that was an amount of money larger than probably most economies of any state. I mean, that was a big, big deal. And they promised to invest back in 2006 over $3 billion.
Yeah.
Boy, you sure blew past that, Tom. Over $15 million investment because you saw the opportunity here. Once you play.
And what has happened since then? New York State keeps falling. Yes, they keep falling. Yes, they say keeps falling. I agree. Yes, they just keep falling. They keep falling. Thank you for the super chat, Sal. The distribution company that Tim Pool uses is in New York. I heard about that. He was talking about switching companies because of what they're seizing property. Let me bring this piece up too, right? Our governor had to make a statement. Maybe I'll find Sal, think of that. Maybe I'll find that statement if I can find it. She had to make a statement to businesses to say, hey, it's okay. We're not coming after you. It's okay. Why? I'm sure some of you like Trump. I'm sure some of you don't like Trump. This isn't, in this case, what I'm going to say, it's about Trump, but doesn't matter if you like or hate Trump. The judgment against Trump of the $300 and some odd million against him, there was no victim. Let me say it again for those of you who don't know. There was no victim. He took out a loan, and according to the judge, he lied about the value of his property. Again, according to the judge. And therefore, that's fraud and he has to pay a fine. Now, to be clear, the bank accepted what he said as the value of his property. He took out the loan. He built the thing he built. I think it was a building or something he built. But he built whatever the property was going to build. He built it up, whatever it is. And he paid the money back. So to be clear, the bank did not lose its money. The bank was not stole. No one stole money from anything. The bank got its money back, right? That it gave to him. He paid it back the loan as he was supposed to pay it, whatever. So there's no one saying, hey, Trump robbed me. In this case, other cases, people don't like Trump. It's fine. In this case, no one's saying Trump robbed me. It's not saying it. And they fined him $350 million. Businesses are now saying, wait a minute. So you can just decide to hammer businesses this way without a victim when everyone agreed that the deal was okay? And now businesses are getting scared and they're ready to walk away. They're like, we're out. We got to go. We have to run. We can't do this. They're getting scared. She had to make a statement on this because she's afraid business will start walking away. To your point, Sal, businesses are walking away. New York State is hostile unless you are a massive corporation. But if you are anywhere not massive, in other words, if you can't literally bribe your way through, you're done. Yes, you are done. So valid point, Sal. Thank you for bringing this up. They're just taking, and if you open up your own property and your own business, like we have right now, the smoke shops here in New York City. Oh, they're hammering the hell out of these places. So you can't be a mom and pop store. You get hammered. This state is not friendly, which is why you have to bribe everyone to come here. That's the reason. So Sal, amazing. Thank you for that comment. I really do appreciate that tremendously. I really do. Thank you. It's great. So let's see. Shelly says, my sister went to BOCES and I went into debt in college. Yes, exactly right. 100%. Yes. Eli says the Trump ruling scared the hell out of investors in New York. Also true. Yes, it did scare. Like, wait a minute, am I going to put my money in here? And then somebody's mad because of a political issue? Because again, whether you believe it's political, and I think in this case, Letitia James has been clear this was political, right? I mean, almost in the open. She ran on saying she was going to get him. Now, if you're the wrong politics, I get to put you under in this state. I mean, I'd be scared too, Eli. I don't think that's a crazy reason to be scared. I think that's a rational reason to be scared. 100%. It's rational.
Planted the flag. You said, I'm going to make this flag go even higher and higher and higher. And for that, we are a nationally recognized state for the work that you and your members do. So, Tom, thank you for never giving.
Thank you for watching us burn for 18 years before Uncle Joe wrote us a check. That's literally what she's saying. Thank you for watching us burn for 18 years until I finally got Uncle Joe to write us a big enough check. That's what happened.
Up on New York for believing us at a time when people stopped believing. You were there, and you're part of our great history and our great future. Let's give another round of applause to Tom.
Let's give a round of applause for all these bureaucrats who are making tons of money and are all millionaires, even though they only make $170,000 a year.
The story of our dependency on these chips that most people didn't even know what they were just a few short years ago.
She said it, dependency. We are dependent upon these chips. And they still won't make them in our state because we are dependent upon them and they still can't make any money. Think about this. They still can't make any money. Yes. It's like I'm making a product everybody wants. So you should, in theory, be able to go to almost any state because everybody wants your product. No, our state is so broken, you can't make money on a product that the world depends upon. Wow, that's terrible.
The dependency that came to light during the pandemic. And how do we know that here in the state of New York? Because when we couldn't get those chips from overseas, literally shut down manufacturing of cars and our.
It's weird. When we couldn't get those chips from overseas, it shut things down. I'm trying to remember who was around for those shutdowns. Who shut us down? Oh, right, you did. You did. This is the thing that Cuomo used to do, and she does the same thing just as well. Her and Cuomo do exactly the same thing, which is, the stuff just happened. I wish somebody was around to fix it. Oh, wait, I was in charge. It's almost like the bad stuff just happened, but the good stuff's all her fault. Constantly. All the time. Constantly. Yes. So Roger says, Chuck secured $1 billion in federal money for Global Foundries, true, to invest in manufacturing of semiconductor chips in New York State. If he can secure that much for shareholders, we must demand the same for worker-owned startups. I would agree with that. That is my point, Roger. You and I in agreement completely. This might sound good, but understand not only is Global Foundries a shareholder-owned, meaning socialize that harm. Oh, yeah. Socialize the harm and losses, but don't hold them accountable. Correct, right? What Roger's saying is we're going to give them tons of money. If they fail, well, the government loses money. If they succeed, they get the money. That's true. Why? If you're going to, again, my point, if you're going to give a handout, why is it always the big companies? And by the way, do you know where Global Foundries is out of? The Cayman Islands. It's not even a New York State company. It's out of the Cayman Islands. Why? Because that's where you can be a corporation and not get hammered, the Cayman Islands. So the money they make, that Roger's total point, the money they make goes back to a Cayman Island company and we don't pay taxes on it. Yes. If you think I'm making it up, do your homework. I'm saying it publicly. It's true. They're incorporated in the Cayman Islands. That's Global Foundries. Not just that, they do work in all kinds of companies and countries. Germany, Singapore, all the place. Not just here. We're going to bring the jobs home. No, they're just expanding. They just built another, as I told you, another place in Singapore and India. They're building in other countries that are giving them nothing. They're expanding into America only when we bribe them. Otherwise, they would keep expanding someplace else. Yeah. So, Roger, thank you for that. You are exactly correct. And it's not like this is all of a sudden something great. It isn't. It's a disaster, as always. And worst part, they'll never do all the things that they say they'll do. Never. Never.
Our own state. We felt this profoundly, and we said, never again can we be so dependent on foreign supply chains and all the uncertainty around geopolitical circumstances that we have no control over. We can't let our economy come down to
no control over. When there was geopolitical issues, wasn't she on the first plane to Israel? Remember that? When I was saying Israel is a federal problem. You are a state governor. Why don't you worry about state issues and let the State Department, right, the federal government, deal with the federal issues? First person on a plane to Israel, her. First person, her. On the plane to Israel. Whoa, 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 whoa. I thought you cared about this, right? She's the one banning people and not doing work at companies and banning companies. That's her. So you have control and you make things worse.
That. So we said never again. The Biden administration said never again. And that's the genesis of building this up. Working with the concept of saying, if we make those investments here, say, build that industry here, invest in those who've already come before. If you do it here, the jobs will come, the supply chain will come. And we're seeing that and feeling this every single day. The energy is palpable. I was just in Rochester this morning. I was in Buffalo on Friday. Across the state of New York, they're feeling the effect of global foundries and what we're doing in Albany.
No, they're not. Literally just made that up. No, they're not. Literally all across the world, they're feeling global. They haven't built anything yet. How can you feel this? They haven't built anything yet. I don't understand. She just makes things up, and I guess people just decide to believe it, I guess. It is, they just keep saying things. Yeah, and nobody's feeling it. Nobody is feeling it. It's embarrassing.
At Albany Nanotech and all across the state, the workforce development, it's happening in an extraordinary way and a pace that's so fast you don't even feel it. It's so fast.
Okay, she just said everyone's feeling it. And then she now just said, it's happening so fast you don't even feel it. Okay, all I'm saying is, as usual, when she talks, she has no idea what she's saying. She just goes off. Everybody's feeling it everywhere I go. And it's happening so fast, nobody can feel it. I didn't say that. She did. She just said it. It's happening so fast, nobody can feel it. Maybe because it's not happening would be the reason why no one can feel it. That could be the reason. Yeah. And yes, look at the sign. And she's like, that's pretty stupid. The signer knows. She's like, man, that was dumb. Do I really have to sign this? Because now I look stupid. If I got to sign the same stupid shit you just said, I'm going to look dumb. I don't want to sign this. I think I'm just going to pretend like you didn't say that. That's how dumb she is. That's she's talking trash. And people eat this up and vote for her. And they eat this up and vote for her.
Fast. But I'm proud of what the state's role was in this as well. Because all I knew is when we got that done and we high-fived getting that over the finish line, the Majority Leader and to the Biden administration, we said, that's amazing. But I knew as the governor, there's 49 other states who want this. And I knew I had to make sure that we were competitive.
Okay. This is great. I knew there were 49 others who want this. What? What's the policy? What's the change? There is none. She actually said it. 49 other states that want cash. They all want cash. This is the worst part. And this is some of you are saying to yourself, okay, wait a minute, Larry. This Uncle Joe thing. She teased them about Biden. Does she really love Biden? She's desperate. Look at what New York State has done to Donald Trump. And again, I don't care if you like Donald Trump or not. I don't care. Whatever you think about him. Look at what New York State has done to Donald Trump. Imagine if Uncle Joe doesn't win this year. And the way the polls are going, it's not looking good for Uncle Joe right now. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. But at the moment, it is not looking good for Uncle Joe. So now, Uncle Joe, what if he doesn't win? What if Uncle Don wins? You think Uncle Donnie is going to write her a check? Sugar Daddy gone. That's the end. So she is begging you to put Biden in office. That's why she's talking all about, but she's like, that's my sugar daddy. You better help my daddy out. That's what she cares about because that's where her money's coming from. I was not joking when I said that her entire plan is Uncle Joe's going to write me a check. That was her whole plan. That is her whole plan. If all of a sudden he goes away, she's in trouble. And she knows it because Uncle Donnie is not going to be nice to New York.
That we would offer something that no other state did.
What was it?
I went to my legislature.
Okay.
I had Carrie Warner, who represents this area.
Okay, you hear this? She says, this is the best part. I have to produce something that they could come, while they would come and make, because I want that money. So I went to listen and I thought, and you have to do yourself. So I then decided to create some laws that would be more friendly to local businesses, or I made it some laws that would fix this or fix that. Something like that, right? No.
I have Pat Fay here, who represents the capital region, Albany Nanotech. Other leaders who've joined us. We have the mayor of Albany here to show the synergy around here. I said, what can New York State do to make sure they don't just stay in America, grow in America, they don't end up in California or Ohio, Pennsylvania.
What can we do for these companies, right? And I told you already, Singapore got another huge company, multiple companies last year, finished, built up and done. And they paid $0, not a penny, $0. All they did was make sure that the regulatory world was easy for them to do business. I'm not joking. Now, again, you're going to say, oh, Singapore is a police state. It is true. We're a police state too. But they're a police state and they get the good parts of the police state. We just get the crappy parts. If you're going to be a police state, at least give me some damn jobs.
Arizona. Because one thing I know about our state, we are competitive and we do not like to lose. So
Since when? Since when? When was that true? She just makes things up.
Said, how does $10 billion sound to match that, what they're doing at the federal level, and make that available to companies that'll follow the rules we set forth?
She said the quiet part out loud. I got people together, my political people together, to figure out what we could do, how we could help out. Can we change things? Can we shift things? Blah, blah. No, we can give them more money, literally. Now, here's the point. The people she talked to, they weren't billionaires who are volunteering their money. They weren't local leaders who could no. They were government people who were figuring out how to spend New York taxpayer dollars. So they were like, what can we do? We can give them some more of the people's money. That was their massive plan. We got all together to figure that one out. You know what? You didn't need all the people to figure that one out. You've done it yourself. You could just said, I'm going to give them some money. How about we give them $10 million? Okay, that's the plan. That's the plan, is to do that. That is the plan. Yes.
To support the social policy objectives, to lift up the workforce, to get diverse background from all people, from your builders to your workers.
Yeah.
Offer childcare. Make sure that your programs are green and sustainable.
So now what happens is they bribe these people. We're going to pay for childcare and we're going to force them to do what we said. You heard it said, we can give them money if they do what we say. What does that mean? Do what we say. Follow the Green New Deal. Follow ESG. Follow DEI. Yes. Make everything super expensive. The reason why no one wants to come here is because of this. This is why we have to bribe them. Because of all these regulations and rules. She just said it. We have to have all these regulations and rules. And because of that, they don't want to come here. So we have to pay for all of this.
Can you do all that? And if the answer is yes, we will support you. We'll be all in. And that's exactly what we did when the legislature passed at my initiative, a $10 billion green chips bill to complement what we're doing at the federal level. That's why we're able to make investments like today.
I'm going to say it one more time. Singapore got 2 of these fabs in. They spent $0, not a dime, not $1, 0 to get them. To get one, we have to get a check from Uncle Joe and $10 billion of our own dollars to get one. That is how broken this state is. And she's proud of this. This is where her pride is. Because they'll follow my rules. I'll give out the jobs. I will have control. It's the only way New York State grows. Without this, New York State cannot grow.
And in future places like Micron as well. So our announcement here, we didn't do 1.5 billion. I'm sorry, I'm just one state. But how does 853 million sound? That's exactly what we're doing.
How? I will give away all my people's money. That's what I'm saying. To Roger's point, I mean, Roger made the point. All of us in New York State here are paying taxes, right? And you might go, well, not maybe the check from the federal government. And maybe the federal government's check is all, debt. That may not be actual taxpayer dollars. That may just be debt, in which case we're paying for that with inflation, but we're not paying directly a check, taxes for that one. We're paying for that with inflation. So we pay for the federal government money with inflation, but the state money, that's directly taxpayer dollars. So to Roger's point, Roger's trying to pay his bills. I'm trying to pay my bills. Shelly's trying to pay her bills. She's just so happy. She took all that money and gave it to a company that is incorporated in the Cayman Islands. I'm not joking. She just said it. To a company that's incorporated in the Cayman Islands. She's going to give them our taxpayer dollars, and she's proud. And we oh my God, this is great. Look at what's going on. They are taking our money and giving it away to large corporations. They can all make a ton of money. Absolutely. Scott says, all hail the craft queen of special interest. You're not wrong, Scott. You're not wrong. She is the grifter extraordinaire. No question. And it's open. This is what drives me crazy. She's saying it. I'm not making these words up. You're hearing her say it herself. No, yay, yay, yay. Look what's happening. Isn't it amazing?
Oh, I made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
It's $872 million.
I'm robbing more money. I'm giving all your money away.
75 from the Green Ships Initiatives. There you
See
go.
that?
So we're here to put our support with your investments. But again, project labor agreement, diversity targets, subsidized childcare.
Diversity targets. You heard it. DEI. I wasn't joking. I know if Mike is still watching right now, he just threw up. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry you just threw up. I hope you can clean it up pretty fast. I know you just threw up when you heard that because you were like, there's no way that's true. Like, damn it, Larry was right. Yes, literally right there. So let's not help anybody. Let's worry about DEI, and we worry about this is why they won't come here. Yes.
We say you'll get this support. You create the jobs, create your 1,500 jobs, create the construction jobs.
Okay, they're not going to, 1,500 jobs. They will not, whatever the number is, they will not hit that number. Why? I'm going to say this very clearly to everybody. They never make their numbers. Ever. They never make their numbers ever. Any number they say, they will not make. They never make that number.
And we're there to support you as you continue to grow. So this is a proud day for all of us. Amazing workforce. You're the most talented people in our nation.
Yep. I knew Mike would have something to say. I know that. There we go. Yes, here. DEI is the ultimate deflection from being effective and excuse being it. Yes. I guess you didn't throw up. I guess you were expecting it. You didn't throw up. You were expecting. You would have had your bag there. You're ready to go. Okay, you're fine. But of course, what else would that be? Of course it would be there without question. Had to. Sam says the spiral, create government mandates no one can afford. Businesses leave. Bribe businesses to come back by giving them money from companies and people here. They come back and force others out. Everyone loses. Sam, well done. I wish you were wrong, but you were 100% correct. That literally is the way. Yes, that literally is the way. 100%. That's what they do. They just take and they break your leg and give you a crutch and say, tell me thank you. That's what they do. Tell me thank you. Yes, 100%. So Shelly says she just said that she's the state. Correct. Yes, she is the queen, Shelly. She is the queen. Absolutely. She is the queen. It's true. Absolutely.
I could not be prouder to represent every one of you.
Proud.
And the people who just said will not give up until this gets done. President Biden, Senator Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, her involvement as well, and our Secretary of Commerce. This is the dream team.
Biden is the dream team. Why? Because he's sleeping. That's why he's the dream team. But that's the only reason why he's the dream team. But again, she has to do this. If Biden loses this election, and again, if you look at the polls, not looking good, Funko Joe. Look, again, everything can happen. You never know. I don't know what's going to happen. But you're looking right now, it is looking bad right now. It is looking bad. And if Uncle Joe loses this, she's in trouble. That's why all she says, Uncle Joe did this, and Biden did that, and Biden did this, and he's the greatest, and he's a dream team. Please vote for him or I'm screwed next year. is what she should just say.
Historians will look back.
Uh-oh.
What was the turning point in that trajectory of people leaving our country, taking jobs overseas, offshoring?
Okay, that's good. Historians are going to look back and they're going to say, what was the turning point? Right? Everybody leaving New York State. Everybody leaving America and offshoring. What was the turning point? By the way, New York State's output, less than 5% is manufacturing. Let me say it again. Less than 5% is manufacturing. That's New York State. Less than 5%. Yes. Tell me, Your Majesty. Give me your wisdom that you get from God. You did tell us you speak to God. So what has God told you about this? What will historians say in the future? Oh, great Queen Seer, please tell me.
Changed all that?
What did it?
And that'll be just 2 words.
2 words.
It'll be the Biden administration.
Of course. It is the Biden. I know that Mike Voss just threw up now. I know. Mike, you were trying to hold on. I know you just threw up now. The Biden administration. That is, the historians are going to, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, they're going to be like, you know what changed everything in America? It was the Biden administration. That Bidenomics, that was the thing that fixed it all. Weird how literally no one thinks that. I guess we're all wrong. And well, then again, God does talk to her. So maybe Sam says, I did just toss the cookies. Yes. So Mike, if you didn't go, Sam did. So it's fine. Yes, absolutely. Merlin says, I was a machinist when there were machine shops around here. Correct. Those are gone now. Absolutely. I am sorry. Mike says, Thames are delusional. Bidenomics failed, but they didn't create it. Bidenomics failed before they created it. They were failed on delivery, 100%. But she said it, and this is the thing. People who want to believe it will, right? If you want to believe this, she gives you something to hold on to. And I get that. But I really hope people don't think this way, right? I hope they don't really like this. And by the way, if you're liking, please click the like button. I know I ask all the time. Please do it. The like button matters. You know I get hit by the Al Gore rhythms. So please make sure you check those out. If you're watching on Twitter or X, please retweet this, repost this, whatever the case may be. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, why do you hate me? Subscribe, damn you. I need more subscribers. Subscribe. It costs you nothing. Click the bell so you hear it, so you know. If you want to love me, you can. You can always super chat me. Thank you for those who are doing that. I'd appreciate every super chat. You can do that if you're on YouTube, Larry Sharpe. Also, if you want to, you can become a member on YouTube, Larry Sharpe. If you want to, click that join, $49 per month. Supports me so I can do more of this and less daily work, which I'm trying to avoid doing so I can do more of this. Takes me time and energy to do this, so I appreciate it. If you really love me, you can always go to patreon.com/sharpeway. That is always the coolest way to support me whenever you can. But again, if you're on Twitter, retweet this. Twitter does count. Super chat me if you want to. Let me grab a couple more here. So, Sam, thank you for the super chat. Love you, brother. 189. Glad she just admitted to being useless. That's true. There we go. I like that. Yes. Andrea says, the ones who write history are the winners. So they're saying, please help us win. So we're the right side of history. Ooh, Andrea, that is very savvy. Thank you for that. You're right. Right. If the Biden people keep winning, they will be writing the history books. You're right. And they'll be saying, see how we won. And the only reason why things went bad is because somehow Trump, they will blame Trump or whatever. Somehow Trump did the thing that ended everything. Not us. We were awesome and great. And somehow Trump ruined us. So that'll be what they say. You're right. That will be the story. Absolutely. Let me keep going here.
Biden administration stepped forward and says, no longer. Let's regain that mojo and that sense of accomplishment and exceptionalism that we always had in this great country. And I want to thank the president. I want to thank the majority. I want to thank our secretary and all those who made this happen.
Where are the local people thanked in anything she's ever done? And I want to be very clear about that. How about anything that Cuomo did before her? Where are the local people thanked? They're not, because they aren't writing her checks, because they aren't helping her out personally. Why does she ever say, I want to thank the local church group because they supported people who were in trouble? She didn't say that. Never heard her say that. I'm going to thank this local small business that gave people a second chance when they got out of prison. I didn't hear that. Not once. I want to thank the local diner who's been hiring single moms who are in trouble and giving them a chance at making some money to feed their kids. I didn't hear that. Not once. Nowhere. At all. Why? She didn't care. Those people don't matter to her. And to be forward, if you know what communities are like, those people are far more important than global foundries. Far more. Not even close. Far more. But nope, we don't care.
Because this is the day history will look back upon and say it happened here, forever altering the course of history. And that,
remember this, February 20th, this was yesterday, February 20th, 2024, that's the day that Joe Biden saved the universe. Done. That is the day. From now on, this day will be known as Bidenomics Revival Day. Will be what February 20th will be known from now on, Bidenomics Revival Day 2, because that's what happened. Yes.
That's not even to mention what we're going to do with AI. I'll do that another time because I don't want to take away from this, but we are going to be the epicenter of AI innovation because we declared it so and we're putting the money behind.
She said it. You guys tease me. You think I'm joking when she said it. We are going to be the epicenter of AI because I declared it so. She said so. Therefore, it is true. As any true God Empress, yes. When Her Majesty Queen Cathy makes a decree, first of her name, destroyer of the middle class, supporter of the elites, banisher of the conservatives, when she makes a decree, it is true because she made a decree. She just said so. So AI, some of you are probably scared of AI. Don't be scared. Her Majesty will control it. And as long as she controls it, how could there be a problem? No way. How could there be a problem? Shelley says, the TBI/stroke rehab program that has been replicated in 4 states and 7 countries is closing. And Hochul shows zero interest in saving this excellent program. Yes, because those people do not give her money. I'm not joking. Shelley, if those people gave her money, she would care. They don't matter. Right? They don't matter. Shelley, you've met me more than once out in the field, out here in New York. When she crosses the state, she goes from fundraiser, Democratic fundraiser, and says, I'm crossing the state. I go to diners. I go to gun shows. I go to gun shops. I go to tobacco shops. I go to vape shops. I go to any local facility that I would go to. Doesn't matter to me. I go to some locally owned place. That's where I go, and anyone can come meet me. I go to a hotel. I don't care. Wherever. I go to some place. I hang out and talk to people. Right? She doesn't do that. She doesn't care. She doesn't. If they don't give her money, they are irrelevant. That is how most people who are in power think. And that's the piece. So yes. David says, hey, Larry, this is off topic, but it has to do with corrupt politicians like Hochul. Why do we still celebrate President's Day like our political leaders are honorable people acting in our best interests? This is a good question, right? We as a habit, particularly in New York, but across the country, we tend to worship our aristocracy. So the closer we have to aristocracy, our political leaders. So we worship them. It is human nature is why we do it. It's just human nature. That's the reason. But, there are positive things about lots of presidents, lots of positive things. No presidents are perfect, but there are lots of them. So it's a positive. You can feel about the positive aspects of it. So there's something. So, but that's why it's just human nature.
Behind it, and everybody's so excited as well. So it's all happening right here in the great state of New York. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, New York is, I don't know what this was a disaster. It is embarrassing how bad that was. It's embarrassing how bad she is. It's just really bad. This is what she said. And I guess if I look at this in another way, I could be satisfied in a way in that she's on brand, like she hasn't changed her brand at all, right? I think that could be one thing. She hasn't changed her brand. But too many people still believe her. They think she's righteous. They think she's correct. They think she's smart. They think she cares. If they would actually get that she does not care about them at all, if they actually understood that, I wonder if it would change how people think. Or are they just so scared of the other that it actually wouldn't matter? That whether or not she was telling the truth or not, they wouldn't care. They just are afraid, so they won't do it. So Shelley says, there are actual Hochul supporters in the groups that I'm in. Yeah, there are people who think she's, she's trying or cares. She's not terrible at. Cuomo was very good at pretending that he cared. Cuomo actually had a lot of charisma, right? Cuomo was a terrible guy who didn't give a crap about you. However, he was a very skilled politician. He actually did make you believe, many people who don't know, who weren't paying attention, would believe that he actually cared. He would say things like, it's okay, because love wins, and stuff like that. He'd say things like that, and people go, oh, he does care about us. Love wins. He was that kind of thing. She isn't that good at that. But she does have that thing about, I'm proud, I work hard, I'm a woman. She has that stuff going on for her, and she's actually pretty good at that part. So I think she is good at that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong at that. Merlin says, AI means no jobs for a bunch of people and more money for big corporations. Merlin, I hope you are wrong. And why I said that is, if certain people are able, who are smaller businesses, are able to take advantage of AI, it could be an equalizer. Could be. I'm not saying it's going to be, but I think it could be. And if we put this in the hands of government, it will not be. You will be correct if this goes in the hands of government, because they always have their hand in hand with big corporations. So if we do it that way, you're correct. If we let it go, I think there is a chance that it could be kind of an equalizer. Chad says, damn it, it used to send me notifications when you went live. You got to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and click the bell, both of them. Got to do both. Remember, when you click that, click the bell too. You need both of them so that we can get out there and do this. That is important. Do both. So yes. Mike says, Mississippi is the poorest state in the nation and is better for business than New York. In every study for more than a decade, New York doesn't compete because we aren't competitive, I think, depending on federal tax grants. Yes, I mean, that's the whole issue, right? A lot of states, the South is exploding because the South is actually better when it comes to the business environment. South Carolina, North Carolina, they're getting Georgia, they're all getting businesses. They're now calling Atlanta East Hollywood because a lot of the business that's in California that used to be part of the entertainment industry has been moving to Georgia because the environment is better. You could just change the environment. No, we're not doing that. We're just punishing people. That's the issue. Guys, what I want you to do, please do me a favor. Like that, click the like button if you can. It does matter if you're liking what you're seeing. Please make sure you retweet this if you're watching on Twitter. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. All of these things matter. Please do it. I know I bug you because it matters. I want to grow the channel so more people see this. I want to grow the channel so more people can be part of this. Your part is doing that. If you want to support the show directly, you can do so. Please do so. Become a member on YouTube. Click join. Become a member on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, you can become a member on Facebook if you want to also. Either way, become a member. Join if you can. It does help. Or if you really love me, go to Patreon. $10 a month is the most expensive way of doing it. If you love me that much, please do so. But every little bit counts. I'm asking you to do this to grow us so we can keep this going. I want to be able to do this a whole lot more so that this is... A lot of people have opinions on stuff. And you know that. For those of you who watch me often, you know, I have opinions too. But it is very rare that you see someone sit here and tell you what's going on inside their heads and tell you what it actually means behind the scenes. That is not very common. That is special. Me going, somebody's bad, somebody's dumb, that is very common. Not that you don't need that. That's important too. Opinions do matter. What makes this show so damn special is because I tell you what's going on inside. I tell you what it actually means, why it actually matters. And then when I do these predictions, I am usually right. Why? I give you the reason why. So now you can look back and predict yourself. It's not that I'm super smart. I just met all these damn people and I listen to what they say and I watch all their stuff and I know how the system works. I've been in it when I was running for governor. So I figured this out. Yes, absolutely. As Shelley says, Larry goes to all 62 counties and he actually listens and tries to find solutions for each county. That's true. I do. She's right. I go out of my way to go to every county to see what's going on, to try to find answers. It is important. I do want that to happen. Andrea says, yes, let's move to AI and get rid of humans to make decisions. You don't need critical thinking. Let computers make bad decisions for us. Well, at least, you do that and you'll save money on people, I guess. And then when the decision is murder people, you can't blame them. You blame them and not yourself. So I guess I appreciate that. Andrea says, I appreciate your opinion, even when I don't 100% agree. And thank you so much for that, Andrea. Because some of you get mad when I bring people on this show. I always do. I put people on the show that some people don't like. Some people don't want to hang out with. Yeah. And I do that for a very important reason. Remember I brought that guy on who was talking about how we should expand NATO. America should pay for the entire war. America should pay for everything. And remember that idea? He should pay for the wars in Ukraine, the wars in the Middle East. America is the father, right? Is a father figure in the world. Remember that guy? A lot of you did not like him. I know a lot of you were mad that you didn't like him. But the reality of it is there are lots of Americans who think exactly like him. It isn't that he's a bad guy. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know him that well. But that isn't the point, right? It isn't that people are bad guys. They think this way. And if we want Americans to think the way we think, don't we have to have a conversation with them? We've got to be able to understand why they think the way they think. And I hope in every time I brought someone on board, that I tried to drill down to what they think and why they think. I did it with him too. So you're saying you think this, you think that, blah, blah. He's like, yes. Okay, we get it now. If I had yelled at him or tried to own him, nobody would come on my show because they'd be afraid that I would yell at them or own them. And we'd never hear what they actually think. And we'd never be able to appreciate what they think and then figure out how to help them to think the right way, which is our way, Andrea. You're right. That's our way. To think our way. But that's what we have to do. So, guys, I say thank you so much for this evening. I appreciate all the time you gave me. And I'll be back on tomorrow at special time, 6 p.m. with someone running in Arizona in a statewide election, the Corporation Commission or something like that. I'll be watching. Her name is Christy Kelly. Be talking to her tomorrow at 6. And one more thing. When this is over, please do me a favor. Head back on to whatever platform you're watching when it's over and leave a comment. Leave a comment after it's over. It does help tremendously. I will see you all very soon.